I would like to be intimate, but my partner does not want to. And that goes for both men and women, whether you could physically still be intimate or not. A lot of times when people enter into a new relationship, we're having sex 3, 4, 5 times a day. That is not something that people typically keep up 5, 10, 20, hell, even 1 year later, let alone 20 years later. What are some of the steps that I need to take in order to bring back that intimacy into my relationship? Now, there's a whole term for these situations. They're called sexual interdependence dilemmas. I think this conversation is important for single and married people. Why? Because let me tell you something, it starts when you're single. A lot of times, I don't think we're honest about ourselves, right? We put on an image like we're putting our best foot forward. We're doing all the tricks when we get with somebody new. We want them to think a certain thing about us. We want them to think that we are adventurous, that we can keep up, all night long. I could do it all night long and all this other things. Y'all, and we're presenting an image of ourselves that's not honest. So I think whether you're single or married, this is an important topic that you absolutely need to discuss with yourself and with your potential partners. First and foremost, y'all, let's start with just quickly if you're single. What are some of the topics that you can safely introduce into a conversation just to find out if your sexual desires, your sexual interests are even aligned? Now, there's a difference, like, because y'all know when we're out, people are out here single, they say, oh my gosh, they talked about sex right away, like in the first or second conversation. But there's a way to tactfully bring it up. I'm not saying, oh, so what's your favorite position? You like it up, down, with girl, you go all night. I'm not in the least. Being compatible is not just he likes cats and I like dogs. Oh my gosh. That has no being compatible is a lot more than we like the same color. We like the same favorite vacation. You can need to be sexual compatible as well, right? And I don't feel like you need to actually do the deed in order to find out if you are compatible. For instance, now, there are some people out here that will never use their mouth. We grown. We grown, right? We 50 and over, or we 25 and over at least, y'all. Come on now. There are some people that firmly believe they will never ever use their mouth other than for eating edible foods. If you already know this going into the relationship and you know that is an absolute requirement for this person to be adventurous while we are doing the bedroom Olympics, right? Then this is a conversation you absolutely need to have with your partner, potential partners up front. Because if you're not compatible, don't even waste your time. And please don't even waste your intimate moments to find out you have given yourself to somebody else and y'all aren't even compatible. So I firmly will stand behind and beside the fact that, yes, have those conversations before you do the deed, period. Y'all have to be honest because what happens if we're not honest? We set ourselves up for that misalignment down the road. Okay. Well, then next thing you know, both partners are unhappy. One person is feeling guilty, the other person is feeling pressured. Like I'm pressured to perform, right? If I don't perform, then not I'm going to face his or her guilty responses. Y'all just saw this story not too long ago, wasn't that long ago. Y'all remember back in the 90s, I was in high school. I was in high school and college in the 90s, right? We saw that song that came out of Adina Howard. What did she talk about? The song was called A Freak Like Me, was it not? What did she say? I want a freak in the morning, a freak in the evening, just like me. I need a roughneck. Okay, so why did her husband, she got married, and why did her husband divorce her? Because he said that she wants sex all the time. Well, you know what? Guess what? She told us all, the whole world, that she said, I want it in the morning and I want it in the evening. That literally was her claim to fame. I could measure up to that. I could be a freak just like her. Well, you know what? He found out he could not. And he divorced her because she wanted sex all the time. So that's what I'm saying. Like, before you get into these relationships, y'all got to be honest with yourselves. Are you going to be able to meet their needs? And if not, don't sign up for that position or that role. Just don't. Let's move into the people who are in committed relationships. When y'all started, it could be committed relationship, boyfriend, girlfriend. Y'all could still be married. But when you started, it was a rodeo. It was a marathon. We did it all the time, all day, all night. It was great. 5, 6, 7 months, years go by. Now you're barely getting anything. Maybe not even once a month, once a year. I knew a couple who didn't even do it maybe but once a year. You go from having a lot of sex to no sex. So what happens? What happens to the sex drive? A lot of times the differences in libido will cause issues within your relationship. And a lot of y'all who are in that situation, you already know what I'm talking about. So can you save a relationship if that is the case? The short answer is yes. You can't, but just like with anything that goes on in a relationship, you both have to be intentional in fixing it. But there are a lot of reasons why the libido is off. Like, why are we misaligned here? It could be emotional reasons. It could be, you know what, I'm not pouring into my partner's emotional cup. I'm not showing up to make my partner feel like they're wanted, they're desired, and I want to be with you. Right. And so because of that, we get partners who start to check out because I no longer feel desired. I no longer feel wanted by my partner. So I'm going to start to check out. My partner's not fulfilling my emotional needs, so I can't fulfill my partner's physical needs. I am exhausted. I don't have the energy to fulfill your needs. So if there are no health reasons as to why you're not being physically intimate, then you got to get down into the core of your relationship. What is going on within your relationship that's causing your sexual energies, your sexual desires, your libidos to be completely misaligned? Because you're going to want to address these together. So, what are some reasons why? One, hygiene. Uh, You would not even believe how many people just have given up on hygiene. How? Why? If you want my mouth to be in certain places, then get in the shower and wash it. If you want his mouth and to be in certain places, y'all, I'm not talking about washing over the sink. I'm talking about hop your butt in the shower, lather up that soap rag, and get, please, nice and clean. Please smell good. You know, scents go right to your long term memory. Right. Just think of something, a funky, funky smell that you maybe smelled when you were in middle school. Right, and every time you smell that, your memory goes right to that thought in middle school because that's what smells do to us. They go right to your long-term memory. So, if you're smelling good, every time your partner smells that beautiful scent, you're gonna come to that person's mind. So, yes, what's wrong with smelling good? I don't want you coming to bed smelling like goat cheese. So that's one reason why we're not being physically intimate is our lack of taking care of ourselves. Two, we're not physically attracted to the person anymore. We see this often as years go by, as we mature. A lot of us, honestly, we stop taking care of ourselves. We used to go to the gym 5, 6, 7 days a week. Now the gym only sees us when we're driving by it. It is important to keep up the physical appearance in your relationship. It absolutely is. Because when you look good, you feel good. And and this is not on those shallow stuff. This is the truth. And this is not about, well, I want to look good for my partner. No, I want to look and feel good for myself. Because at the end of the day, it is just me, myself, and I. Y'all, we have to take care of ourselves. We have to love on ourselves. We have to eat some fruits, eat some vegetables, get in the gym, take care of ourselves, exercise, get your hair done, do whatever you got to do in order for you to feel confident about you. Another thing that's causing our libidos to be different, y'all, we're not pouring into each other. Women, we have to lift up our men. Men, we have to lift up our women. Yes, sex is just a byproduct of a healthy relationship. If y'all are misaligned, maybe it's because your relationship is misaligned. We see this often a lot when the polarity starts to disappear. We have more of our women showing up to be men in relationships, right? And I don't mean men as in the man, I'm carrying the penis. I mean the masculine entity. And when that happens, y'all become buddy buddies in a relationship. Y'all no longer have the polarity. Y'all don't have that masculine and feminine balance. And then what happens? Now we high fiving each other. We're roommates. We have lost the sexual chemistry. We have lost the sexual desire for one another because the polarity has disappeared. Women are showing up to be doing too much. And if you find that your woman is doing a lot, and by the time she lays down in bed at night, she is physically exhausted. Your woman is too much into her masculine energy. And that is not a woman that you are going to find that's going to be that sexual kitten. Here's the thing that we see: when men cheat, women cheat too. Okay, so let me be very clear. People cheat. Men and women cheat. But a lot of times what do we see? We see people cheating with people we don't have any shared responsibilities with. We didn't share anything with those people. So they're always fun. They're always inviting. Oh my gosh, have a good time with them. I don't have to talk about the mortgage and the bills and the kids needing braces. And I don't have to talk about any of those conversations with this person that I'm out here cheating with. And so therefore it's fun, it's inviting, right? Of course it is. You don't have any damn responsibilities with that person. I'd be fun too if I didn't have to talk about these damn bills in the house. Then meanwhile, your woman or your man is at home running a household, working a butts off to take care of the responsibilities in this house. Yes, that is not exciting, but you know what? That is being responsible. And when you have a partner that's pouring so much into keeping the house afloat, taking care of the children, taking care of whatever y'all got going on, that partner might be tired. So instead of you or anybody running the streets to try to find that excitement out there, why don't you pour that energy back into the relationship? A lot of times the libidos are off for each other, but they're not necessarily off completely because somebody's out in the street cheating. Okay, so we're not going to go down that whole rabbit hole, but we absolutely do see this in relationships that, you know what? Our libido is off in the relationship. We are misaligned on a sexual intimacy, chemistry level, but I still want Sally in the street because you know what? She makes me feel good. She gives me back rubs. She don't talk to me about these bills. She don't tell me that the electricity needs to be paid. But you know what? So I'm gonna go out here and deal with Sally because being at home is too stressful. So I promise you, like they say, if you water the grass at home, your grass would be green too. I say all that to say it's not necessarily your libidos aren't matching. Your libidos are being occupied by somebody else. And we come back to what? The relationship is off. The relationship is suffering. And another reason why you might find that your libidos are just not matching, y'all, we just don't find each other interesting anymore. We're not having those deep down conversations, those intimate moments. We aren't sharing those with each other anymore. We ran out of things to talk about. I'm no longer going to be physically desiring you because I no longer mentally desire you. Let me just say there are many health reasons that are preventing you guys from having aligned sexual chemistry. I am a postmenopausal woman. I am a woman who has two beautiful grandchildren. My oldest one is 9, and my youngest grandson is 3. Absolutely fully understand that as we women go through menopause, that they are learning. Again, I am not a doctor, so I'm just reading books on menopause. I'm actually going through a menopause coaching certification because I do want to learn more about it. They are finding that menopause can directly impact your brain. If you are in a relationship and you are dealing with those menopausal symptoms that have caused your libido to completely disappear, I want you to know, baby girl, you are not alone and there's nothing wrong with you. I would encourage you to seek medical attention. You don't have to be 55 to be experiencing menopausal symptoms. You could literally be 30, 35 years old to be experiencing perimenopause symptoms. Men, there are medical reasons why your private part, your penis, can no longer stand at attention, can no longer become erect, right? There are medical reasons this may happen. And of course, when our tools of choice are not operating correctly, they're not functioning to the point to where we can be intimate, y'all, it's time to seek medical attention. Again, I am not a doctor, but I can at least tell you that there's help. You know, what can we do to bring that sexual energy back into this relationship? It is our absolute responsibility to want to fulfill our needs as part of being in a relationship. If you don't want to fulfill your partner needs, you have to ask yourself, do I really even want to be in a relationship? Because, and it's okay. You may say, you know what, I might be too selfish to be in a relationship, and that's okay. But if you want to stay in your relationship and you want your relationship to work, then y'all are going to have to take those steps to address every one of those issues that I just brought up. Start treating your partner as an interesting person, just like you did when you first met them. When you first met them, they were interested in them, weren't they? Okay, you ask them a bunch of questions. So what were you like in third grade, second grade? Right now, you have to create new memories as to What can I now find interesting in my partner? Your partner is still a person. Stop getting into these mundane routines where, you know what, I know how this is going to go. I'm going to kiss him on the cheek. He's going to roll over to the left. I'm going to roll over to the right. 10 strokes and we're done. And then let's call it a night. Y'all, intimacy starts well before you get into the bedroom. We have got to pour into our relationships. That means I'm pouring into you only. You're pouring into me only. I want my partner to feel important. I want my partner to feel validated. So, what do I need to do in order to make him or her feel that way? Let them tell you what that is. Seek to understand and then apply the knowledge. We got to be out here granting our partners some grace because maybe they're under a lot of stress. And that's okay. Just be supportive, be understanding, show some compassion that everybody's sexual drive ain't always on 10, because sometimes stress, life be coming at us. Y'all be open to seeking professional help. They do have sex therapists. We have to make time for each other. If you have to schedule intimate moments, it doesn't make you weird. It doesn't make you odd. It just, life just be lifing. You schedule meetings, you schedule doctor appointments, you schedule to get your hearing test, you even have to schedule to go to the DMV now. But you can't schedule intimate moments with your spouse, your lover, your partner. That's spontaneous stuff. Girl and God, let me tell you something. Don't even let those triple X movies fool you either. Knock, knock, knock. Anybody here call a pipe cleaner? Oh, I need some pipes. Y'all, it is fake. It is not real. It is not real life. If your partner is saying they need more of XYZ in the relationship, in the bedroom, it is up to you to analyze those needs. I'm not saying fulfill them just because they told you to. If you feel like that is not something you can fulfill, it is okay to voice that and come to a compromise. But in order to know that, you have to have a conversation. Just talk to your partner. If they want it 3 times a day and you're okay with going at it once a month, then you guys have to have a real serious conversation about balance, about expectations. This is your relationship. Only you two can decide and define what is acceptable in your relationship. But in order to do that, what? Y'all gonna have to open up the lines of communication. If you need help with mediating those lines of communication or even learning how to communicate your needs, y'all, the name is Vee Mindful. I'm a relationship coach and published author on this channel. And in my coaching practice, y'all, we talk about everything related to relationships. I typically talk to the mature adult that is usually 40, 45, 50 and over who are divorced, starting over, trying to bring the romance back into the relationship. What do coaches do? Coaches, y'all, we help remove the blocks that's standing in your way from having a healthy, balanced, loving relationship. Or V, I'm in a relationship and my man has erectile dysfunction and I'm feeling a certain type of way about it. Y'all, please go check out this conversation next. Until next week, y'all, please take care of yourselves.